Hey there, folks. My name is Michaiel, and I'm the founder of Soul-utions Spirituality. A common question I get asked from time to time is, what is the difference between spirituality and religion? And in our society today, most people mush them together. And to understand them a little bit better, spirituality is your personal and private relationship with the divine. Now, religion is a group of organized men, and I use that word purposefully, men who have decided to tell you the way to relate to the divine. So religion is a set of rules and regulations on what you should and shouldn't do to move from being a sinner to becoming a saint, or moving into being at least saved so that you can have eternal life. So when you look at the word religion or the religious experience, if you break it down to the old Latin traditional origin of the meaning, religious comes from the word religiosity, and means to return to. Ligious is alignment with self, which is really the alignment of your truer self, not the ego, but your soul and spirit, because that's the eternal part of you. And so a religious experience is to help you to realign with your soul and spirit, to help you realign with your true self. Now, religion, as I mentioned, is man-made. It's something that men have conceived and created, and all the different religions have their tones, their flavors, their rules, or regulations. But ultimately, that's the difference between religion, whereas my spirituality is my personal and private relationship that I cultivate with the divine. And I can expand beyond what the religions have taught, for the most part, that God is only a masculine energy, that God is this father with a son, not a daughter, with a son, masculine, masculine, masculine. Why do you think I said a group of men deciding and defining what spirituality is? Because they have eliminated the feminine face of God. They've eliminated the goddess. They've eliminated the power of the feminine. But to be able to expand beyond religion, to connect completely and fully with the divine within yourself. And what I believe is that there is both a masculine and feminine expression of the divine. There is the goddess, the feminine, and there is God, the masculine. And together they gave birth to all that is. Everything that exists in our planet, everything that is here that has consciousness, is an expression of the divine. So, unfortunately, most religions haven't focused on that. But I like to think of the idea of spirituality and religion kind of like an analogy would be languages. You know, there are so many different languages which are different forms for different societies to learn how to communicate with one another. And religions are all like different languages, where spirituality is like the universal language. For instance, like the smile on a person's face. A smile is communicated regardless of all the different formats of religions or languages that there are. It's a universal language. Our emotions are universal language, and our spirituality encompasses all religions, because every human being is spiritual. There's not a human being that exists that's not spiritual. It'd be like saying, I'm not human. You might not support that, you might not be conscious of it, but the truth is, everyone who's living has a soul and spirit. Every body, every consciousness that has energy has a soul and spirit. I can believe that I'm born of love, that I'm born in the likeness and image of God, the divine. Both the expression of the goddess, which is my soul, and the expression of God, which is my spirit. You know, throughout history, and religion has kept soul and spirit kind of ambiguous. But when you understand the soul is connected to the feminine, my feminine energy, even though I'm a man, my feminine energy is connected to my soul and to the goddess energy. And likewise, my spirit is connected to the masculine energy within me and the God force in the divine. And as we have a soul and spirit, they're very different. They're not mushed into the same category like religion has tried to do, but they have different qualities and characteristics, and they need each other. Soul and spirit function together as one, which was the divine plan for God Goddess to work together as one in giving birth to all that is. You don't have to abandon the Judeo-Christian ethic in order to be spiritual. Even though Christianity has eliminated a lot of the feminine aspect of God, you can bring it back, like Catholicism has to some degree, by allowing the goddess through the Mother Mary to be honored and respected. So it's important to also understand the difference between what I believe is the dividing line of any religion that is, to me, spiritual or not spiritual isn't by their label. It's whether they put love, value, and respect as their highest principles and honoring difference and uniqueness, which is what life is all about. God created all of life, and every one of us, if you look at the animal kingdom, if you look at the plant kingdom, every different species within there are so vastly unique and different. Yet as human beings, we want to all try to be the same, instead of allowing the uniqueness and difference of different types of people. Whether that person is from a different country, a different belief system, whether they're gay, straight, bisexual, it doesn't matter. God creates everything as a diversity, and a beauty of it all is that each one of us can learn from the other, and it's part of the diversity of life. Life all around us was created by the divine. So why do we single humankind out to try to all be the same? That's unfortunately what chauvinism, male chauvinism, has tried to do. And that, my friends, is starting to crumble. It's starting to change. And that's the big change that's happening in our world. As we equally value Mother Mary and Jesus, as we equally value the masculine and the feminine, and bring them together, they give birth. They create a synergy of wholeness. They create a synergy of power and beauty and strength. And that is what Soul-utions is here to help do. So to be able to stretch beyond what religion has taught us and to embrace your own personal and private relationship with your soul and your spirit. And because the soul is feminine, because the soul is misunderstood, because of its very nature being feminine, people automatically deny their soul. They repress the desires, the needs, the expression of their feminine energy. Because in a world of male chauvinism, we've elevated one to superiority and we've denigrated the other, the feminine energy. And what Soul-ution spirituality is bringing those two forces together to be able to heal and understand the power of your feminine energy. And as you do so, to take action upon that power, that state of being, and take action upon it becomes a masculine strength. Your strength is born of your power, and as you express your power into physical formation, into physical action, you develop strength. The physical action, the dynamic action of spirit is masculine, and the state of being is feminine. So that is the way to begin to open up to what I believe is the true nature of the divine. But in general, the majority of people are either male or female. But that is not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about your gender. I'm not talking about your sex. I'm talking about consciousness. The consciousness of feminine energy, which is your imagination, your creativity, your feelings and emotions. It is your intuition. It is that wisdom that comes from within your soul. That's feminine energy. And masculine energy is willpower. It's taking action. It is your thinking and logic and reason. That's masculine energy. It is your productivity, to be productive, to get out there and do stuff. So the masculine is valuable. It's the easiest to measure because the feminine energy is a state of being. It's more internalized. It's much more passive and receptive. But when you can bring them together, when you can value both the feminine and the masculine together, when you bring your imagination and willpower together and equally value them, magic happens. When you bring your creativity with your productivity together, you become successful. When you bring your feelings and your thoughts together, you become powerful. When you bring together these aspects of yourself, that produces power. So that's what I'm talking about. Regardless of your gender, every human being has equal amounts, 50-50, or 100% soul and spirit, but have equal amount. And when you can value both of them equally, they're different. They're very different, but to value and see the value, how they work together. And it's the feminine energy that is connected to the soul, and thus the term that I use for my teachings is Soul-utions, because that's where the answer is found. That's where we're lost and floundering as a humanity. And with the uprising of the feminine movement, which is so important, and it's a critical time now for people to all embrace that feminine within themselves, to find the balance and harmony, the understanding and compassion, and the wisdom from within. It is the missing key, the missing ingredient to personal fulfillment and personal power. And guess what? It's been within you the whole time.